All right, so I'm still building videos. That's what I do. I feel like all day, every day. All right, ready? So we have to do the second part of your project, which is um, creating a interactive Google slide that all of your students can be a part of. So um, when I say that, right? So you already watched the Pear Deck where you're giving your lecture and they're jumping around and they're answering questions and things like that. But at the end of the day, you also want to have that ability to make Google Slides into a class project or a group project, right? So I love Google Slides for this particular situation. So let's dive in now. I always tell you guys, make it in your folder, right? And some of you are doing fantabulous. So I'm going to give you a clue on how to help out. Some of you still haven't figured it out yet. And you just, I don't even know where you make it. But I'm going to show you. If you type slides.new, it will automatically create a brand new slide for you, right? That's one of Google's cool shortcuts to life. But again, once you do that, put it in your folder. Okay, I tend to build them and then move them later because what I have in my brain is what I want to do, and then later on I will slide them in. It's completely up to you, but if I can't see it, I can't grade it. So make sure that once you get started, once you do this, you put it in. So now this is gonna be my group project. So we're in module 4, so we're gonna do group project. I don't know. Let's just talk history discussion. All right. So, what I want my students to do, and this is big, whether it is, see your folder just popped up. So that's when you move it. All right. Folder's there. Find it 101, 102. Click move, and boom, you're ready to go. All right. I'm actually moving it somewhere else later, but that's where I want you to put it. Make sure it's in that 101, 102 area. All right. So, what am I using this for? Well, I tend to do this a lot with things that I want the students to work on and I want them to discuss, but I also want them to be able to kind of reference back to. So, for instance, the last one that I did, we were working on the Supreme Court cases of the early American history, right? So, Marbury versus Madison, those kind of things. So, what I had them do was I said, all right, John Marshall was the Chief Justice, and he had some extremely important cases. We don't have time to sit down and evaluate every single case. I just, we only have 180 days or 500 years, so we got to do it. So how else can I do this? So what I did was I said, all right, analyze each court case by group. By group. And then I said, these are the things I want you to have in it, right? I want you to have the name, right? Opinions. And it's both, positive, pin. I'm still not getting it right, am I? That's why they made that spell checker thing, which some of you need to start using because you're turning in stuff that's very not spelled right. All right. Positive opinions and negative opinions, right? All right. So the opinions, and then finally the historical importance. All right. Let's just say that's what I'm going to have them do. Okay. So then I sit down. I say, okay, let's look at three cases I really want done. Now my AP class right now has about 9 people in it, right? So it tends to work out when I do this. So what I do then is I say, okay, 1, 2, 3, and I say, all right. Actually, I'm going to cheat for a minute and show you a little cheat. All right. So I'm going to say court case. And I let them put the court case that they're doing, right? And the 3 things that I want them to find are, so we got the name. That's the name of the court case, right? The opinion. So let's just say negative, positive, historical, important. Now, I know some of you are history teachers and you're like, that's not what they call it, negative and positive, but I'm just throwing this out there real quick, right? So now I've got my situation set up. So now, that's what I want to find out from each of the 3 cases. So now I'm just going to duplicate. Duplicate slide 1 and duplicate slide again. So now here we go, right? My students have their slides, right? Court case 1, court case 2, court case 3. So now what am I going to do? So I'm going to share. And see, right now it says change and restricted. Only people added can open this link. So I'm going to change, right? And anyone with this link right now is a viewer. I'm going to make them an editor. Anyone with this link is an editor. Notice that editor, right? What that means is when I share this to my class, when I put this on my website, they can each, the whole class, go in and then work on where they're supposed to work, right? Now, I can tell you, if you get lower grades, I just read an email from a Google trainer that this lady created a whole slideshow presentation. She had all her students work on it. Everything was done. She knows it was done. She even looked at it. And then one of the kids went through and deleted every slide, right? So you're like, great, now what do I do? All right. Well, the awesome thing about Google is when you come to file and you go to version history and you see version history, watch my sidebar over here, right? This is everything that's been done since I opened this slide, this presentation, right? So as you build, as you create, as you work, this is everything that happens, right? So some of you are like, not some of you, I haven't had it yet this far, this semester, which is awesome, right? But I've had students in the past say, oh, I finished this a week ago, I just forgot to turn it in. And that always makes me highly suspicious. So then I pull this up and I'm like, yeah, no, you started in an hour ago and you turned it in. All right. I can check. All right. It's one thing I love about Google. All right. I had a student not too long ago. She plagiarized her entire paper. So I emailed her and said, listen, you plagiarized your entire paper. Do it over again. And I will for deduction of grade, but I will grade that item, right? So I get an email from the mom. How dare you tell me she plagiarized it? Unless you have proof. I just looked at her paper. None of it's plagiarized. She went on and on and on. I pulled this up. I did what in Google Docs, they allow you to compare papers. And I pulled it all up and I took screenshots and sent it. And I said, your daughter lied to you. The sad part was I never got a, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll talk to her. That was the end of it. Nothing. But this makes it so much nicer. So if and I don't mean to go off on a tangent on cheating, but as a teacher, that's something you always have to think about, right? Even as a professor, I get emails from some of you, and again, not so far, I haven't seen any from you. But oh my goodness, I finished this, I did this, and it like 3 weeks have gone by, and I'm like, where were you for 3 weeks? Yeah, but I promise I did it. And then I pull that up and I'm like, you lied to me. All right, your credibility is shot. So just kind of remember that teachers can do that. And I mean, I can show you there's all sorts of, there's one called Backtrack in Google Docs that I can literally watch every line you've typed. So if you're typing along, you put your name and then you copied and pasted from, a website or something, it'll go your name and then poof, it's all there. I can catch you. All right. So it's kind of fun. Sometimes it's like a game, right? Some of the teachers we like to do it. I know they did, and I'm going to find it. All right. So just kind of remember that as we go, that you have to do that. All right. So that's what I want you guys as your second part. I want you guys to use that as your second part. All right. I want you guys to create a project that the class will do. I want you to break it down into groups so that you can see, where they would work. All right. I don't necessarily need the version history of it. We'll just get out of that. All right. But the other important part is I want to see that you shared it in the proper manner so that I know that you've created it the right way. All right. Good luck. I will talk to you all later.